afternoon and welcome to our Parent and Carer newsletter. We're at the end of another week, and next week we've got a really exciting next step in our virtual school, and Mr. Eggleston's going to tell you all about it.
Great, yes. So on Monday we're going to start our live lessons, and those live lessons are just if you're in Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2 for English, Maths and the class book. And if you're in reception, there will be a maths lesson and the class book. It's a great opportunity for your child to interact with the class teacher, to ask any questions, and also to see their friends in their class who I'm sure they are missing. So we have a set of guidelines, some tips to kind of help your child get the very best out of the virtual learning lessons. So the first thing we would like your child to remember is to find themselves somewhere in your home which is a little bit quieter, wherever that might be, somewhere that they can focus and concentrate, obviously away from the television and any other kind of distraction that they might have. You might find it easier for your child to be wearing headphones so they can really engage in what the teacher is saying, but we know that might not be possible for every child. Make sure your child is prepared. So all of those lessons do start at 9 a.m. So just remind your child when they get up, have they got everything they need for the lesson? Just so they're not finding bits and pieces as the lesson are beginning. So they'll need any books or any writing utensils, pencil, pen, whatever they might need for the lessons. Make the Zoom full screen so that your child can really engage with the teacher and what's going on. They can see anything that goes up on the screen to help them and support them with their learning. Now, parents, please do help your children set up the Zoom, because that's going to be obviously very complicated for them to begin with. And if you can be around on those first couple of sessions just to help the children get used to muting and unmuting and those things that we have got very used to over the last few months, that would be really helpful. Once they are set up, we'd really like the children to try and be as independent as possible. So parents, even though you might have some questions that you'd like to ask the teacher, we'd ask you just to hold back, because we want to try and keep those questions limited to children only, so that we can keep the pace of the lessons. However, parents, mums, dads, if you do have any questions, you can email us or call us here at the school, or do email the year group on their email, which is on the website. Now, behaviour expectations are going to be exactly the same behaviour expectations that we have here in school. It's about being polite and respectful to everyone who's on that Zoom. So once again, that we can get the very most out of the lessons. Please make sure you can really help us out by just making sure that your child has the camera on, but also that they have named themselves. And this is really important for security, because we don't want to be letting anyone in from the waiting room that we don't recognise. So please make sure it is named. You have a default on your phone or laptop, whatever you're using, that comes up, for example, Galaxy or iPhone, but just change it to your child's name so the teacher knows who they're letting in. I think, let me just check my laptop. That's everything that we need. Really, toilet, so we don't want your child to have any accidents. So even though they're on Zoom, even though they're engaged in a live lesson, if they do need a toilet, we just ask them to be sensible. Just go to the toilet, it's absolutely fine. If there is an opportunity to let their teacher know, then I think the class teacher would appreciate that. But pop to the toilet and then come back, but there's no other real reason to leave the Zoom live lessons. And then just a reminder that we are only doing this for English, Maths and the class book. All other lessons that you've come to know and use will still be available on the website each day, so you can do the French, you can do the music, you can do the art, all of those other lovely lessons will be available. So can't wait, look forward to beginning those lessons on Monday.
And on that, so coming to laptops, so we know at the moment that we think that everybody amongst our families at home has a laptop or a device that needs one. But we know that your needs might change as we move to live learning, particularly if you've got more than one child at home. That laptop can't be kind of swapped around, because they're all going to need to be online at the same time. So if you have more than one child and you've been managing, but actually this is going to make things tricky for you, if you could contact the school office, and then we will do our very best to help you, so that all of your children can access their lessons all at the same time. And then on that, we're also leading a campaign as part of the trust that we belong to, called Laptops for Learning. And that's being led by the London South Teaching School Alliance, which is the teaching school alliance that this school leads as part of our work that's outward facing. So if you have any sort of funds, if you're able to support that campaign, if you're already really sorted as a family and you have, and I know not everybody does have, if you have the money that you can spare to make a small donation to that campaign, that would be great, because there are still so many children in Southwark where they have no access at all to their remote learning. So any help at all would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Great. Last thing to mention is parent workshops. So we started those this week. So we had an early years, so a reception year group specific one, and this was led by Mr. Paul and Miss McHale, and it was focusing on developing independence with the virtual school and how to get the very most out of those lessons. And I hear they went, the actual workshop went really well. There's also been workshops for Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2 led by Mr. Cannock, looking again at independent and routines and structure, anything that might help you at home. And again, thank you to those parents who attended. We look forward to running more of those as the weeks go on, and we'll be publicising those as they happen. So thank you very much. Now, I think that's everything for this week.
It is everything for this week. So enjoy your weekend, and we shall see you and your child online on Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.